All right, you guys, I went on a binge buying Monopoly games, especially with Amazon Prime days. But I didn't buy them all at once. It was still a little bit of a process. So I'm going to show you a couple good ideas that I came up with to give you some good ideas to either display some games like this or some other things you need to display. So I'm going to put up a couple displays as singles, and then we got one group bunched together. But then we're going to get to the big one, and even I can't wait to see my vision come true. I'm hoping to get 8 or 9 games into it. The first one, I'm going to get the transformers up on my other transformer stuff, and I made these pieces of wood. And I plan on screwing it right up to the ceiling. One on that side, one on that side. There she is, hanging high, screwed right to the ceiling with a piece of fishing line tied across the middle so it doesn't fall out. And like I said, got it right above my Transformers collection. It's way up there, 9 feet high. I put my builder's Monopoly right on the end of the bridge I built. This game looks awesome, where you could build your own skyscrapers instead of buying your own houses and hotels. It still has some weight to it, so I put a support stick painted like the wall from top to the bottom. Make sure I don't get any kind of a bend in the end of my roadway. It's a good place for the game because I already have a construction scene on the bridge. And there's my tower crane. So for this one, I have my Super Bowl 51 edition, Colts versus Bears. I got it on a piece of 1/4 inch, screwed to some 1x, and then to the underneath of my shelf. And I have the piece of 1x on the bottom, wide, so it angles out from the wall. And I extended it out a little bit, because I have these vintage football player figures. They're vintage, and I have them glued to the piece of 1x, so whoever wants to buy these has to buy the whole display. So on this one, I made a 15-degree rip on my table saw from this point to the end to get the 1/4 inch piece to lay back on a good angle. And yes, these are my 2 oldest Captain America action figures from the 1970s. I put these 3 bunched together way up high on a shelf hanging off my ceiling. On the upper left, I have my Mandalorian, and then I have my Fortnite Monopoly right behind the Fortnite Battle Bus. I love the Goonies Monopoly because anything with their action figures are out of my price range. Here's the whole display. I have it hanging so it's 6 foot 4 inches off the floor, where most people can walk under it safely. So let me show you this. My next display is going to be on top of a piece of plexiglass. It's going to be hanging off of my hutch cabinet. I'm going to do it with 3 chains, and it's going to be almost 8 feet high. So I'm going to cut 2 of these on a piece of MDF, and it's going to be sitting up there hanging out a little bit like so. I want to use MDF because even plywood, I don't want to see the laminated edges, even if it's painted. Yeah, so this is the crazy template I came up with because I want the games to be like staring down at you. So after I cut out this cardboard template, I still cut it here down the corner so I can angle this template to what I want, and then I put a piece of tape on it. So after I cut 2 of these out of a piece of MDF, I'm going to put little 1x's across the bottom, across the top, and my games will fit in between. And I'll put some edge band on the front so they don't fall out. Let me show you how I did it. I got my measurement. I did all this with a level off of the top of this hutch. I'm going to have a piece of plexiglass coming out and a huge display up here. It's going to cover up all my ductwork and wiring right here. Oh yeah, that thing ain't going anywhere. So I have my MDF pattern all cut out with the notch, getting ready to attach it to the 1x's, and when I do, I use construction adhesive with the MDF. So I just put the pieces on their lines, make sure each end is square, put some clamps on it, put some nails in it, and now the main frame is done. Just going to start filling it in with the 1-bys at the top and the bottom. So I built my box, I got some edge band on it. My games will be able to fit in between without it falling out. So I filled my holes and I'm getting ready to paint it. And now I think I can paint it because the sun's out. So here she is, painted all black. So let's put her up. So finally, here's the finished product, and I was able to get 9 of my games up there. So here's the view from the side before I get the last box in there, and I'm starting to decorate my glass shelf as well. And my oldest grandson just donated his Patriots Super Bowl edition from 2004. And my middle-aged grandson just gave me one of the first Nintendo Switch Monopoly games in its case. And he also made me the Monopoly card game piece to scale with his new 3D printer. Here's a view from looking way below. Here's a view standing right under it. So this was one of my first videos and I had to remake a lot of it, but from now on I'll learn how to make much shorter videos. So yes, this project was quite an adventure, but don't forget to hit your subscribe button. See all my other toy collection videos and other how-to videos.